This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life, better personal life.
The one advantage you have when you're past 30 is that you have nobody to report to. And if you're still reporting to anybody, any authority, any pastor, any bishop, any dad, you are sick. Once you reach 30, we said retire all authority figures. Maintain people as teachers and advisors over there. Decisions should come from you. What we talk here today, pass it through your own individual screening and your life and adjust it and take what you think, yeah, this is right, this is timely for me. Decide it from yourself and ride on it so that even if it hits the rocks, you adjust it with courage. You don't blame that person who advised you. Are we together?
Yes.
And ladies, once you hit that, you are no longer a young lady. You are a lady of full stature. Stop taking lower position behind the older guys, allowing them to advise, letting them carry the day, letting their opinion remain in the air. Sound your opinion. I did a whole show about what changes when you hit 30 as a lady. You don't grow old and you should have children. Your eggs don't die. The theories you were told by your grandmothers who did nothing else or nothing except to get children and prove their femininity. They had no such thing as a dream. They had nothing to conceive in their head, only in their womb. They were just a body that they were here to be used by men and generate children. Their brains were negated and their identity were forgotten, and they accepted the small position, and even they were taken as far as being removed the genital equipment meant to make them enjoy life, so they only remain robots that are alive to pleasure the man. And they were forced to do it on their own daughters, and they accepted that position. And some of you are still walking the same attitude, thinking there's any pride in doing it on the same young girls. I hope by the time we die, us here, nobody will be doing FGM on girls this generation. I hope so. And the women, I know you know now you can have a complete life without marriage and without a child. Mother Teresa did it, and we still celebrate her today. She was not married by anybody. She did not have any child. She followed the second step I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you about. Number one, he said, step up on your definition of your career, your job, who you are. We have cancelled saying, I am a lawyer. Just tell them I do lawyering. Just tell them I do advocacy. Tell them I practice law. Tell them I practice as an advocate. I practice. I do it. I do farming. I do singing. I do banking. I do. Meaning that's not all of me. I've only told you one thing I do. The other thing is your money and your safety is not coming from the salary and that job. In fact, when you need your employer more than he needs you, you are not yet mature. You are not yet there. You know you have arrived when the employers are afraid of sacking you. But if you are the one who's afraid of being sacked, you should sack yourself. Mother Teresa did the second thing that I want you to step up to. The first one was about your identity, distinguishing it from your job, from your position, and ascending it to something that is moving. So I studied BCom, but I can change to music, can become an editor, and that's okay. I started on TV, and you guys saw me on Switch TV. The time came, I changed. Went to Royal Media, time I changed. Went to my own shows. Now I'm here. Tomorrow, I'll turn another direction. Don't define me with Beam Safari Show. Don't define me with Switch. I used to do it. It was not me. It was just something I did. Even this is something I'm doing. And should my path change? My career is a path. It's not a position. Don't keep looking for me where you left me. I'm on move. In fact, the name of human beings is called being. Human being. Being. You are being. Stop staying in the same place. We don't say donkey being, monkey being, dog being. We say
Human being.
Because we are being. The one who created you is on the move always. So are you. You're on the move. When he looked at the earth and it was chaotic and void, the spirit moved. Keep moving. You are a spirit like the one who created you. Stop staying like a monument. You are a spirit. You're not a statue. Statues are in the same place. You are a spirit. You are fluid. You manifest today this way. Tomorrow you change your style. You learn a new thing today. You bump on a new idea. You ride on it. You manifest another glow. You buy another car. You go to another town. Move to another place. You manifest as movement. You're not a monument. I give you permission to step up how you define your career. Eventually I stopped informing my people about my job. about where I'm going, so that they stop asking me questions. Did you know that what they don't know, they cannot attack? Stop informing them. They will stop sending questions. It's your mouth that has been betraying you. You think you need validation. As children, we had the longest, human beings have the longest period of dependency. Other animals get independent quickly because by the time a giraffe is born today, there's a lion that is hunting around, isn't it? It needs to learn how to run, or it will be eaten. Human beings, we had so much protection that all the way, and our brain took so much to develop because we are being made in the image of another person. Remember that? And it is inexhaustible. The reason it is maturing so slowly by 25 is because it is so deep. The subconscious itself, the subconscious brain, so deep. In fact, they say we only use about 6%. The most genius use 6% of the brain by the time they die. We settle on a small level. I want you to know what you're capable of doing is not definable. I stopped telling them, so I looked for a theory that they can accept. I'm still looking for a job. I'm job hunting. I used that language. To all that I did not need to update. Use for something you can tell people so they can leave you alone. Look for something you can tell people so they can leave you alone. Number two, I want you to step up. Number one, you stepped out on career. Number two, I want you to step up on your financial freedom. Step up on your financial freedom. How I want you to do this is this. Guys, this side we are on, money answers everything. In this world, money is the currency of buying freedom, of buying movement, of buying food, of buying medicine, of buying life. We saw it in COVID. If you could buy oxygen, you survive. If you can't, they would remove it from another human being to give to the one who in future will be rewarding return people. When you have come now and you come next year, we'll give you a discount. So make sure you come. You have been taking money as, I'm not attached to money, and for me life is all about character, and values, and it's not all about money. Even if the money is not good, for me, as long as it's satisfying, whether the guy has money or not, for me that's not a big deal. I've seen guys have money but they have no heart. For me, as long as there's a heart, and money is not everything, and you have developed a very subtle but sick philosophy around money. You keep lending people money, your savings, all of it, they disappear with it. They give you a solid setback. And I'm not saying money is everything, but it is something. I want to give you the rules to follow with money today and buy your freedom. In this world, if you want to wake up, financial freedom is defined as waking up in the morning and deciding what to do with your day. That's all. You will know you're financially free when you wake up and ujalalia simu kwa pillow. Some bosses are so cruel. Even when you sleep, the phone must be, and you're not even a doctor, you're not even ambulance. You're doing a regular day job, but should a text arrive? If you want freedom, do the following. I want you to stop working for survival and start working for success. You will wonder how many of you settled the moment you reached 100,000. Have you ever struggled to ask for a huge amount of money? You knew you deserved it. But to write the figure, to pronounce it, you shook with fear. The first time I needed to charge 100,000, I sweated. The service was due, I knew it was time, but I tried to write 99.99. Just to write 100, I consulted my friend. What demons are these? He told me, my brother, you're not alone. The first time I struggled with an invoice for whole night because I sold a client carports, he does carports, 20,000, and he asked for 7 of them. I sent him a quotation. Now, unfortunately, when I multiplied it, went past 100. 20 times 7, 140. Do I discount to 80? Do I discount to... So I struggled. I write the email, I can't press send. When the first time I carried 1 million shillings in an envelope, I thought everybody's a thief looking for me, trying to follow me, And I'm looking at everybody suspicious until I also look suspicious. I think, is it right? Oh my God. One reason you have settled for survival is because wealth is scary when it's the first time to come to it. There is fear in wealth. When you're not used to it, you think money is evil. You develop all these manner of things. It's Illuminati, it's Freemason, it's all, this is greed, it's selfishness. Why are, blessed are the poor. You look for everything. The day you meet religious poor people, you cannot argue with them. In any case, they are quoting God. Who are you? Somebody asked us, when the pastor wants the car, but when I want a car, so I'm not saying anything general about churches. I'm just saying some people justify poverty by being too compliant to authorities, thinking it is now safety. Don't call anybody father. There's a verse like that, by the way. Did you see it? So why are you calling dad and mom? Please don't confuse your biological parents. How can you be so confused? Use the right language to avoid confusion, okay? This is my pastor. That's all. This is my bishop. That's enough respect. This is my mentor. This is my teacher. Please, the dad and mom are at home, because dad title we associated with the blessing and curses. When you call people dad, you're giving them permanent relevance. If they threaten you with the curses, you will believe it, isn't it? So you will comply, and you can't marry before he gives an okay. And yet what you saw, did you realize love is very hard to measure when you're outside? What I like in this girl, you can't see it. Us, we can feel it. Then another person looks and says, I don't feel it. The spirit, the spirit, the spirit. And here you are growing old because the spirit. Because you must get thumbprint. I want you to define freedom. Number one, the financial freedom I want you to develop is to work for success. What is success? Success is progressive attainment of a worthy goal. So I want to tell you quickly about goals. Number one, I want you to write down what you want for this year, for next year. Don't wait for New Year and then there's a wave. Resolutions, whoa! Then you dissolve them with whiskey and dancing and singing, and they are also dissolved and they are gone. No, dissolve them now. Let me tell you the miracle of goals. Writing, look up, I tell you something. Writing is called neuropsychomotor activity. That's a big word to say. When you write something, it engages all your faculties, all of them. Thinking, expressing, muscle, we call it neuropsychomotor. Neuro, psycho, and then doing, the motion. You realize when you don't believe something, you can't write it. You stop in the middle of the word. It's powerful than talking. When you had power of words, you only thought spoken words, isn't it? Written words too. When you write, you give it something existence. I want you to write your goals and see how they gain a life of their own, because you express them in writing. A research was done about 10,000 companies, a lot of companies. In the US, they do research. Some of you have a passion for research, but because it's not popular, it is not known, there's no. You don't research. You're just writing, you're stealing exams for students in the US, calling it online. And you are tithing. So, professor asked us whether the Meru guys should tithe Mira. It was philosophy. It's a class I used to love a lot called philosophy. The classes you love say something about your personality. When you write your goals, you give them concrete existence separate from the wave happening in your head. Those 10,000 companies were just as simple. How many of you have written goals? And only 3% had written goals and a plan to reach them. We want to have 1 million by next year. We are planning to do the following. By January, we are going to start one branch, the other one. This one will be the one to be sent there. By February, we'll go to farmers, buy the products there. So those who said we want 1 million in 2023 December, and we have 5 activities. We have 3 of us. You from your home, you bring avocado, me, you bring macadamia, you plant, and they sat down and wrote and deliberated and a written document, only 3%. The other guys had agreed you want 1 million by next year. They did not write it, but they agreed on it. 13%. The other percentage out of 100, 84, just knew what they wanted. I want good money. I want my business to succeed. They were like us. They knew what, yeah, I know what I want. Nothing written, nothing concrete. Floating ideas and desires. Then the guys who were interviewing them, the same research was replicated with Harvard Business School. The same research was replicated with guys who are graduating from business school, same intellect, same, and they were asked the same questions. So businesses and individuals, the same pattern followed, almost copy-paste. So the researchers came back 10 years later. In the US, they can run research. Please start your research firm if you feel so. We need that information. If you have that story, stop despising it. Go for it. We need to be shown patterns so that we can order our lives aright. Are we together? Research brings out patterns, isn't it? Yes. It adds together, it tallies things to show you patterns. The pattern I've told you about 25, I started suspecting it before I knew the science behind it, because I was observing so clear cut. And then 10 years later, it was found that the 3% who had written it and agreed a goal and a plan written, all of them were earning more than 10 times more than the others. The other 13% who had agreed were earning 5 times. Let me give that context. The salaries of the guys who had written when it was 10 years were found, they were earning like 500,000, while the other group was earning 50,000. You get it? This other group was earning 250. The one that had agreed, they were earning 250. The other guys were earning 50. And yet another thing was discovered. Unfortunate, but still it can comfort you. The guys who had written and agreed how to do it, majority never looked at the plan again. After they wrote it and hit the ground, they did not look at the plan again. Circumstances start changing when you're on the ground, but because they knew what they were aiming for, they would adjust on the go. And they asked, how come you never, they were trying to dust the plan back the following year to cast a plan for the year, the next year. That, oh, we're doing, how much have we attained? It was discovered that the act of writing and listing what you want itself aligns all your mental faculties and receives instruction towards what you desire. It starts showing you those things in more higher numbers. The time you started thinking about a red BMW, you started seeing them more. When you thought and dwelt on that thought, you started seeing them, isn't it? Your mind received that as your desire, as your instruction. When you thought of Prado TZG, a car that ladies like, TZG, when you saw it, when you thought about it, researched about it, it started appearing in your world. I want you to write your goals. And one of the goals should be financial freedom. Stop settling for survival small enough to keep you floating. You can abbreviate a job. Many of you are happy to have a job. You can abbreviate a job to mean just over broke. Just over broke. You have a job, but you're just over broke. Learn to stop settling at job. And I'm not saying everybody should be an entrepreneur. Some people, the aim is to be excellent. Say excellent. Excellent entrepreneur or excellent employee. Whether you are Jeff Koinanke or you are Alex Chamoda, same industry, one is an entrepreneur, the other one is an employee. They are both masters at their craft and they are controlling their destiny. They are the ones in control. Their salaries are not touched because of COVID. You know, they are paid all they want because they are the ones the employer needs more than they need the employer. They have more options than the employer has. You know you have mastered your craft when you can replace the employer and he can't. Very good. You got it. When you can replace them and they can't replace you. One guy, when you are job hunting and we are so hustling and we sweat until dust comes, or how does dust when you're walking? But what is the science? You are not in slippers. You know, there are home slippers draw some. But I'm not in slippers. So I never understood that. How does dust? Until you see your shirt as full of dust. Oh my God. That guy will tell us arrogantly that he has what we call arrogance. Now I know it was just truth. When people are so ahead of you, their truth sounds like? And they will call you proud. You come innocently with your car keys, and because you place them there, as you talk, now that is, should you hide your car keys? And you know those who have their own car keys never take issue with your car keys? Yeah. When they have their car keys, will they even notice yours? They don't care whether you have a Mercedes. As long as they have their parcel, they are happy. Drivers are just drivers. We are happy. Now, these guys who had not written goals, they were of the same ability. If you write your goals now, you'll be thinking and giving them existence. Stop settling for a job. The second thing I want you to redefine your freedom is that I want you to stop thinking your love, your relationship, your partner is a part and parcel of your happiness. You bring to them the happiness you have. If you do not have happiness, you take away happiness from them. Psychopaths are so rare in society, they're not talked about. You hear most about narcissists, isn't it? Yes. Psychopaths are another. You heard of Caroline Kagogo, the lady, a police who killed men, some trying to think they will sleep. They are coming to shoot shots in the lodging. Unfortunately, tables were turned literally. And the one wanted to shoot God. And she killed the man. And later she killed herself when they hunted for her too much. But she looks very normal and pretty. That's the problem with psychopaths. They look very composed. There's a guy who killed the children and he took police to the place he used to kill them. You saw it. And he looked emotionless. Another 22-year-old boy killed all his family in Kiambu. And he had a girlfriend from the university. Do you see the madness of pre-25 dating? You're dating a person who can kill all his parents and you don't even suspect it. Because I'm in love. It's real. I know it's real. I feel it. Love is all that matters, I know. There are two places you can find mad people. In a rehabilitation asylum for the mentally ill, or in pre-25s in love. It's the same. Remember yourself when you were 19 and you're that. Now, I want you to step up how you define love in the following sense. That girl realized I had seen the boyfriend and he was making decisions. And he was saving himself. Men are killed quietly. It is very hard for men to reach out for help. Society makes them think it is weakness to reach out for help. So they are killed quietly. There's a news article that was ran listing the men who were in the military. So they dodged bullets in the battlefield only to come home and be killed by the wives they'd married. You saw that article? We had a wave of men who were killed by their wives at home. They would come from war to be killed in the house. Men are killed, especially cool guys. All the men you see here today, at least they love learning. We know that part, isn't it? Yes. They paid money and they stopped their life to come and learn. From another man. That's a lot of work, by the way. That's a lot of ego journey. To come that far. A lot of men don't learn, don't seek for help. They just die quietly. So he was a cool guy. I'm on a mission to save cool guys because they are the only men who can be fathers and husbands. The other type can only spam donor, can only smash, you know the smashing they do. And they text you and you agree to it. Come, we smash. And you engage in that kind of conversation. Gentlemen are the only men who can marry you and they don't talk trash. They don't curse, they are cool, they are true, they have a heart. When they get their child, they care about the child. It's them who run after the baby mama. It's them who run. These are the men you are running after were never husband, father materials. They were just things you dragged from the bush because of your feelings. You know, it's my boyfriend. I spent the weekend at my boyfriend. Giving your pearls to a passerby. And then after he has cultivated your farm and planted his seeds until they were all harvested, you come here and say, what about you? You're serious? You know, all men are like. And when you are messing up, you do not want to be told. I congratulate all of you who are coming for knowledge before you mess up. Or before you mess up for the second time. I told men, there are ladies who wake up after the baptism of fire. And sometimes they name their children accordingly. Sometimes the name of a baby can suggest the experience the mother went through. If you see a child called Gideon, ask about the war. They're named like dogs. You know, you name dogs after fierceness. So when you see a mother naming the children after fierceness, mothers always name according to what they feel. Even in the Bible, one woman was dying and she called the child Ichabod, the glory has departed from Israel. Even Benjamin had been named Benoni, son of my sorrow, because of the experience the woman was in. Men, moral of the story, be there when they are naming your baby. Don't be in the bar. Benjamin was around and he changed the name quickly. A father gives a child a name and a frame. Name is a point of reference. I am a daughter of, a son of. Name is identity, I am. And then frame is reference, where to stand on. Confidence. That's why men are scattered, because when there's no man, the child has no anchoring, no point of reference. And when you have no father, it does not mean when you're a single mother, you're doomed. No. Many of us were not fathered. We had to father ourselves and say like David, when my father and my mother abandoned me, my God, you shall accept me. We went and found our father there, or Joshua, who circumcised the boys because their fathers and died in the wilderness in rebellion. Some of our fathers did not have time to introduce us to adult maturity, because even them, they never matured. They just became boys with the beards, running after girls. How do you explain a 60-year-old having an 18-year-old girlfriend, paying rent for her somewhere, who's the size of her daughter, and sleeping on her and feeling now he's masculine? That's just a boy with the beards, walking around with instincts like a male animal. The difference between him and the donkey he has at home is that his head is up and the he's controlled by his feelings. What was Reuben told for sleeping with one of the women of his father? Because you are unstable as water, you shall not excel. Some of our fathers were unstable as water. Some of you are saying, I have this boyfriend, although he is married. Getting children with men who are as unstable as water, you shall not excel. He was cast for climbing onto the bed. The father had many wives, many women. Even him, he followed the same pattern. And then they clashed over a woman. And he was cast. Today we have men fighting over house helps. And the woman is still there. The one who brought them together. You know, men are always brought together by a woman. One was married by the other was given birth by, and the joining force is the woman. And this to say, define your happiness individually. Bring richness to your partner from your own space. You should have a parallel life that your partner is not a part of. And I'm not talking about secrecy. I'm talking about your self-care routine. At time you read things, you empower yourself, you do walks, you go into nature, you pray, you talk to yourself, you cross-check your behavior, you read materials, you enrich yourself, you connect with energy, you imagine things, you self-talk. There should be a life you have that nobody is part of except yourself and your inner life. And when you come to your partner in the evening, you can tell, you know, I was thinking about this. I read this part. You know, there's something that came to me. You know, that girl, when he said this, when the guy, you know, I thought about this. You should have a life of thinking, reflecting, meditating, and reading and internalizing that you bring to your partner that has freshness and perspective. When you don't have it, you become a police person inspecting when they did not call, where they did not check, where they stopped, when they texted, the manner in which they texted. You know, ladies can say a mood in your text. You know, the mood in your text, when you texted that high, the way it sounded, a text sounded. You have all the time in eternity to be petty. If you can redefine your financial freedom and personal freedom, you can become such a rich person that you don't fear being left, because you have where you're anchored on. Some of you can't afford to lose your relationship because you don't have anything else except it. I'll finish that part by telling you, if you skipped the mandatory intermittent singleness season, if you missed the mandatory intermittent singleness season, recapture it now, even inside your relationship, inside your marriage, and hope that it will survive. Because once you become who you are and you find your path, some people can't stand you. They wanted you when you are a yes person, blind, voiceless, controllable, weak, unawakened, fearful, anxious, easy to trigger, pressing buttons. When you awaken, when I awakened that guy, and I told him how to come back to himself, and I gave him exercises to do daily, and he was doing within, by the fourth day, the girlfriend was looking for the phone. Who is the new contact in this phone? So she discovered it's me and came to throw stones at me. And I said, hey, sorry, you are coming too late. Sorry. You should have come earlier before I awakened the sleeping one. Since the sleeping one has awoken, now you can't take him back to sleep. And I said I will tell men this, because women are so pathological. Not all of them. I'm saying there are pathological women. But because they are not talked about, men are blind. They don't know how to deal with it. He was saying, I think she's just disturbed after getting the child. I think she does not. Many men excuse toxic behavior thinking they can, with persistence and patience, rehabilitate. And this is a psychopath. Psychopaths have no conscience, no feeling. They have two different lives. One over there at work where they look charismatic. Another one over here where they're devil. The difference between them and narcissists. Narcissists are mostly in relationships. They have no self-identity at all. And they depend on bullying strong people to feel strong. They are so insecure. The one identifier, I was telling people today, I hope you're following me on Facebook, because I'm giving you free lessons there. If you're not following me, you're not serious. What are you following? On a light note anyway. I wrote today about how the one weakness of a narcissist. Some people saw that? Yes. And you said it is their inability to endure not knowing what you are thinking. Yes. When they can't tell what you are thinking, they are so disturbed because they are afraid you are awakening to truth. Like now, if you have a narcissist, check your phone. It has 74 missed calls. For the 2 hours we sat here. They are afraid. Somebody might be awakening you. And if you're already tired of the nonsense, you've already switched to it, and after this, you'll be having a quarrel for 3 hours throughout the night. You'll be scolded because you were there sleeping with other women. You're even smelling of their perfume. When you have a narcissist, you have no peace. In fact, you had to hide and lie to come here. The difference is that narcissists are so insecure and controlling, they arrest you and create an alternative reality that you think you can't survive without them. You're very weak and you make their life hard. You are the one who keep apologizing. In fact, many people who are dating narcissists will hear the word narcissist from the narcissist. They will call you a narcissist. In fact, they introduce the word to you until you are suspecting yourself so much, you go online. And now, as fate would have it, as you read what they called you, you start seeing them. Look how far God has to go to chase some of us. He has to use the same Pharaoh to bring you around, because you won't listen to anything. Some of you are dragged here by your friends by force. They paid for you, they cornered you, they cheated you, tricked you, because they have tried to tell you you are dating the wrong person and you can't hear. Now they are hoping after hearing me you'll wake up. Some of you did not come for yourself. You came so that that other person can come. Redefine your happiness and stop seeing that. One lady was asking a question in another conference and she was saying, I have this guy, but please, I'm not leaving him. I can't leave him. I have a question, but I can't leave him. You remember that question? We were in that conference with her. This guy is so insecure, he can't let me go anywhere. And I keep telling him in the mirror I can't cheat, but he wants to follow me everywhere when I'm performing before dignitaries. My clients, sometimes there's an embarrassment and he can't let me go. And I say, so what do you want me to tell you? You say he is insecure, but you're also very insecure. I say, both of you are very insecure and your insecurities are complementing. You're very insecure of being left, that you can't find anybody else yourself. And remember, we said, when you call yourself this amen, this Christian, and you go ahead to sleep with people before marriage, you have invalidated your Christianity and your faith. They will never believe it again because you still did it while you're still talking like that. There are some lives once you choose them. I told gentlemen, cool guys, stop smashing women. You will be trapped every time because you don't know the savage game in the jungle. You are innocent and you're polite and you're kind. That's how psychopaths trap good guys. They hope you will go the direction of sex. They hope so. So that they can trap you using it. Because sex is like a bribe. It blinds your vision. In Deuteronomy 23, says sex bribes the vision. Bribe. It blinds you. Sex is like something you are given quietly na atufai kuambia watu. And because this guy is sincere, if she can trap him to get pregnant, that's all. He's committed to his child. He will die there. Many men have died trying to fight for their children because they got a child with a psychopath. I've met them. And unfortunately, I've told men, brother, I'm sorry. If you do not change ways, this may be the last time we are talking. You start your path, your slow down to depression and diseases and an early death. Psychopaths can kill. Stop defining your happiness with a person. Define it yourself. Always have a happy life that does not involve this person, so that should they start taking away your peace, you know you have another alternative to go to. Are we together? Don't let people become the definition of your life. I want to finish this part of stepping up by giving you the last thing I want you to step up to. I've told you about step up to your financial freedom, and we said I want you to set a goal. If you want me to coach you personally, you can reach out. But the one thing I want you to know is this. There's a guy called Brian Tracy. He is excellent at teaching goals. Get any book by him. Brian Tracy is excellent, a leading teacher in goals. Jim Rohn is also very good. But Brian Tracy in terms of business, excellent. Personal development, Jim Rohn is very good. We have said the miracle of writing down what you want. I want you to go and exercise that. Decide the money you want. And sometimes when you're writing it, it looks unreal. And it rebukes you. Now you are saying you want your own business. From where? Just write it. My own business. Write it. And then sit with it there and start seeing what I can do maybe to start moving in that direction. Then writing, scribbling. When you follow Brian Tracy, he'll tell you that part of scribbling has been called mind-storming. It makes your mind rev at a very high speeds because you have nothing to lose by imagining, by thinking. You have nothing. Some guys are following that exercise of writing the vision down and making it clear so that whoever reads may run there, may run by that path, by that track. They have achieved more within a short time than they'd achieved all their years. The last point concerns the goal. How many people are single here? Single? You know what to go on here. Tunaweza kukuona. Mko wengi? So the last point. The last point concerns the singleness and marriage. I want you to make your marriage a goal. Step up in your dating. Remove it from being a dream to become a goal that has a deadline and a strategy. The reason you don't settle is because you've never been serious with it enough. You just keep it. Now I'm open to the idea. If I meet someone, I'm open. If I meet, if. You never got a job like that. I'm open to the idea of a job. If I meet one, I'll consider it. Is that how you got your job? You don't buy a car like that. I'm open to the idea of a car now. If I meet one, is that how you buy your house? Your car? So why do you think this other goal will be achieved by if? Step up to how serious you are about family. If family is part of your destiny. Women, don't be ashamed to ask for marriage. Many of you are made to think by your mothers, sit at home for men to come for you. That is what proves you are virtuous. And then you sat at home and years went, then the same people who told you to sit, they start asking, hujaona mtu? Then just get a child. They start pushing in another direction. This idea of just get a child, will you pluck the child from a tree? You have to get involved with another person and merge your seed with them and carry their frame and their blood, and you don't know where they're coming from, and that's not something you can pray before you do. Can you? God, we are about to do this. The generators will switch off, isn't it? In fact, I had one girl say that's how she used to escape. When a guy cornered her and emotions were all over, she would suggest, allow me to pray first. You know, it's very hard to resist when a person is asking for a moment. Then she would pray loudly. And she said, in all the cases, by the time she opened the eyes, the guy was not there. The only problem of saying, let me just get a child, is that you have to forget your faith and your principles and your conscience and how you lived to go out there in the dark and get involved with a person when you're even new in that market and they can tell this is a stray deer, this is a naive one. They grab you and they torment your life. Many of us, sometimes you're told you have a condition, maybe cyst or those things that are conditioned, and we are being advised to get a child quickly. Then you rush things. I've met people who it complicated their life. It were better they handle the situation and believed to cross bridges when they get there. Sometimes if you want a child and your maternal instincts are asking for a child, go and adopt. Today we are going to go to a place where we want people to tell us whether they're single, what they're looking for. We'll do Q&A, then we go to the hookups. Tell us what you are. Maybe somebody who is interested in that, you can exchange contacts and you talk. Our hookups here are just exposure. Don't blame us for the people you get from here. We don't know them. Caveat emptor, buyer beware. Please, buyer beware, do your own due diligence. We also met these people today. Don't go cussing. Benjamin hooked me, this devil. Please, no. You know, even God knew that. So he did not give Eve directly to Adam. He put her in the vicinity. And the guy decided. So I'm also putting people in your... You're the one to decide whether you want or not. This to say, if you set the goal, give me a timeline by when you want to get married. Start with that goal. And then break down to what you need to do. Some of you need to step up how you look. From here, you look married and settled. And yet I've seen you lifting. Tomorrow is Sunday, and you have another package for Sunday, Sunday best. Then you're looking like Mrs. Pastor. And you have all these holy dresses you are carrying. And you know, to greet us, you have to hold, and then you continue with your umbrellas. And you're sweeping the compound. Because you remember your mother, she will carry so many clothes. When she enters the car, you have to follow the clothes. When you sit next to her, you are sitting on another car with people's clothes, and that's your idea of smart. We were arguing the other day about the biker they wear, and he's appearing here. A lady with very nice legs, but something black is also popping beneath there, because in primary school, the mother gave her a biker, and she did not tell her at what point to retire the biker. And she thinks it's virtuous to remain with a weird thing. And you see her walking around asking me, where are the good men? What's wrong? Where are they? And I'm asking her, you are looking for what? Good men. What do you think they're looking for? Of course, they're looking for good guys. Me, I have character, you know, I'm financially independent. I'm not looking for a guy's money, and, you know, I have my job. And that time, her face is dry and a desert. There is no glow. Please. Put a glow. Use makeup to put a glow. Not a lie. Some people use makeup to put a lie, so others hate it. Some people lie. They paint themselves to a different person. So after the painting is off, they change. That's not what we are saying. We are saying you need to put a glow to appear alive. Do you know the way you dress as you meet a person shows how much respect you have for them? When you go to meet your shamba boy, does he come prepared wearing a suit? But when you go to meet people who are asking for business from you, don't you see a lot of effort to look presentable? Why are you appearing to us, asking us to marry you, and you look like a younger grandma and cracked lips, cracked. I was arguing with that. Now, who will kiss this? You know, when you're married, you have the freedom to be wrong. You don't look, you're not even visible to me. And she's wearing, you know, there are those clothes they wear, we have 200 folds. So they have potential to expand like a flamingo. And she's covered all over, except, and you're supposed to make your judgment based. I did a whole show showing you how hard it is for men to get married. For a man to get married is very hard. Women are sometimes domesticated, prepared to have a home as part of their identity. Men already have a home before they marry you. He can build a house, but they call it cage, but it's still Merudi Keja. So we know it's just a cage. It may not be warm or decorated, but sometimes a bachelor's life is almost full. For him to give up that freedom, you know, when a bachelor is not married, when you check his WhatsApp, full of flirting, suggestive conversation, nobody will ask him. That freedom, man, say, to just tease this one, tease the other, check the other. And we did that because that was part of searching. But there's a difference in flirting and sexting, audio, pornography, those kind of things. But these people are talking suggestive, checking how it feels. That freedom for a man is like living out in the wild. eating how you want, sleeping where you want. Marrying is like migrating from the wild to home, where there is decency and order and the rules and times and the schedule. That transformation for men is like a different socialization. Married men are socialized different from unmarried men. It's a total different social life. And I want you, men marry mentally before they marry physically. If you bring yourself to his house because he made you pregnant and he did not make a mental decision to marry you, he will never behave married. Men marry decision-wise. They change their energy to come to be a husband, to cheer one woman, build life, play, joke, build, enjoy, dance, and sing. I enjoy that part so much. Knowing I can enjoy with my girl and we can have a life. I don't have to guess how she feels about me, and I'm not thinking that what if she leaves or she's swindles me of money. I finish by telling you, write down the goal, give it a timeline, and then invest. Many women are just stingy. Plain stingy. They can't invest in coaching. They even argued with this conference price. They quarrel with it. I was charging halfway to start my conference. This is the second one. So we said this year we're going to charge the little we can. Because you pay the hotel and you go home just like you're just doing charity. But you say, because I'm new in the market, there's a price to be paid when you start in business, isn't it? So I said, let me prove my worth for the first few. So those of you who have taken this advantage, congratulations. But if you're already complaining about this price, and you look at the value I'm giving you, my friend, you have a long way to go. I looked for this kind of trainings until I would pay Wazungu to be given. I knew there's something I don't know and I need to know it. I finished by telling you, step up your searching and make it serious. Those who are dating for the second time, the first marriage collapsed, or it was not a marriage, it was just a thing. You know, you can be in a thing that is not married. It had no love, but you already have children. Now you're coming from that thing which you don't call marriage, and then now you are here, you're trying to date now, intentionally and consciously. When you started dating when the time you are unconscious in college, you don't know what you are doing. It was just a thing you are doing. You don't even know where you are. Now you're waking up, oh my God. You're trying to wake up. There are people who will never wake up. Waking up is a stretch. It's like hatching an egg. The chick must want to come out, isn't it? It must want. The mother can help, the way I'm helping in breaking the shell. I'm told the sea turtle lives in the sea, but it lays its eggs in the coast, in the sand, inside the sand, and it goes back. When the eggs hatch, the day they hatch all of them, and the young turtles are supposed to move quickly using a magnetic sensitivity to the sea, quickly before predators hit them up. If you miss direction, you go towards away from the sea, you die. If you move too slowly and the day finds you there, the heat will kill you. If you move too slowly and the predator catches you, you die. When they are hatched, they move with instinct towards the sea. That's where there's safety, there's food. If you don't have an instinct to be better, you will not survive. If you do not want the freedom I've discussed about, you remain a victim and you will not survive. Let's pick questions and then we'll do the Q&A. Thank you so much.
This is the Benjamin Zulu Global. Welcome our viewers from all over the world to the home of the Heart Matters. We're converging to learn together because when you know better, you can do better. And a better life is what we all want. Better work life, better family life,